Yeah, I was raised evangelical Protestant, and up through my second year of college, I was still contemplating the ministry. My grandfather was an evangelical minister, my uncle. I was kind of the chosen grandson. And then after 2 years of college, I went into the Army, and I did a tour of duty in Vietnam. That kind of shook up my ideas. It resonated with me the philosophical side of it resonated with me. And so I kind of stayed with it for a number of years. When my son was finally, the youngest child, my son was out of high school, I was able to devote myself more full-time to it. So I began to practice with a teacher towards ordination. So, and I was ordained about 17 years ago as a Buddhist monk. Zen practice was for me, an experiential religion. In other words, we sit down. Meditation is an important aspect of our practice, and it's kind of sitting down and facing who we really are. It's very much, our practice is very much about taking care of your life moment to moment. So I'm a Buddhist priest, and people that come here look at me in a certain way, and I realize that. And they have expectations, and many of them are based on false assumptions sometimes. I had misconceptions about being a monk. I thought that I could just be a monk and I could have this contemplative life. I could have this life of just kind of peace and quiet. It isn't what I thought it would be. It's really a life of trying to serve other people. And I was not looking at that. I was looking at escaping into some kind of spiritual life, and that didn't happen. People in general who think that we worship Buddha, that Buddha's a god. And we're not a theistic religion. We don't have a god in Buddhism. People think that, I touched on before, is that Buddhism is somehow a path to some higher state of consciousness that's going to allow them to escape suffering. And that's a misconception. I forgave Christianity in my mind, and I was blaming the behavior of some people for Christianity. And that's just like we do most famously now. We're blaming Muslims for the behavior of some people. And that's what's going on now. I did that with Christianity. I rejected Christianity because of the behavior of some Christians. Everything changes. That's the definition of Buddhism. And Buddhism is not something that requires you to be. Our practice isn't something that requires you to be a Buddhist. That's what I've found in my life, is that the people that I connect with from other religions, particularly, are ones that have a contemplative aspect to their practice. So, my life is an attempt to stay engaged. Stay engaged. Don't waste time. There's no time to waste.